All right. Sorry for you, Twitch people. I'm waiting for the YouTube to stream so I could rant. All right. Hey, welcome all. Welcome to my channel. Um, Streaming live. Giants game finished. I'm out here in the West Coast, but I was able to watch the Giants game against the Orleans Saints. If you saw my picks I made yesterday, I said that hey, I was a little angry how the Giants were favored or not favored, but how much of an underdog they were in that situation. But I thought maybe 5.5 points. I'm like, come on, there's no way that's going to happen. But it changed things a little bit there. Quite honestly, let's be upfront about that. Um, Sorry. So wow. Okay, Flacco scored the touchdown. Wow. Okay, interesting. That's very interesting. Um, Bucks beat the Packers. That's a big surprise. Whoa. Dolphins beating the Jets. Okay, yeah. 24-6 Giants. All right. Here's the thing that everyone was falling in the trap of, because I was seeing this happening. We saw this happen already with what's his face, with Daniel Jones, basically. And the thing is based on one game, everyone thought, hey, this is great. He's unbelievable. And this is against the Minnesota Vikings. He's unbelievable, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, damn it, Paisan, DeVito, basically, screws things up. Basically. I mean, like he does, first game he comes in, he doesn't do really well. And I saw how he was. And I was like, all right, you know what? I even said he's not going to be the Giants quarterback. He should not be the Giants quarterback. He's just a stopgap, whatever it may be. Fine, so be it. But then he started stringing a couple of victories here and there. But honestly, let's look at those three victories that he had. Two of those victories were sub 500 teams. The Giants defense alone could have won that game for them. Quite honestly, let's be upfront with that. Now the Packers, I think the fact is the fact that he beat the Packers, and that's where this whole hoopla and stuff came about. The hoopla and the hype of Tomlin, Paisan DeVito, basically, Junior, was the fact was that he did. The Giants won against the Packers, which the Packers were heavily favored to win against. Jordan Love was doing really well. The fact is, let's be upfront and honest. The Packers gave the game to the Giants. The Packers pretty much didn't show up to that game, and that's the problem. They didn't show up to the game. LaFleur needs to work some stuff out, but they didn't show up to that game. The fact that the Bucks also are able, it looks like the Packers' trajectory has started to go downwards. Baker Mayfield has able to salvage the Bucks season a little bit, but this whole thing about Tommy Paisan, and I mean, it was like quarterback controversy. Yeah, you know what's going to be the quarterback controversy? Which one of the two quarterbacks that the Giants have, or three basically, are the least likely to give up the most turnovers and at least post up more touchdowns, at least? That's it. All three of the quarterbacks right now in the Giants roster suck. Daniel Jones sucks. I forgot his name now, and I don't want to know his name now. Sucks. And let the Giants let him release him. And then you have Tommy DeVito. Sucks. And the thing is like, this is where you got to look into the count of what Daboll is. He's able to squeeze every ounce of ability he can out of his quarterback to get him wherever they are. And that's what he did with DeVito. That's what he did with Daniel Jones last year. He was able to squeeze a lot out of them, and basically for something that's so minuscule, mediocre as they are, he's able to get something out of them and utilize some of their skill sets or leverage a lot of their positives over their negatives, basically. And of course, without Saquon, none of this. Everyone says, Tommy Faison DeVito. No, it's not Tommy DeVito that's doing this. It's basically Saquon Barkley. I mean, Saquon's over there, hey, Tommy Cutlets, because, whatever it is. But the reality is it's Saquon. That's it. And the sad part is no one seems to realize that. Everyone's like, hey, Daniel Jones, great quarterback. Look what he did for that one game. Hey, Tommy Paisan DeVito Cutlets. Look what he did. And the fact is, it's like, yeah, it's a great meme. The fact is he's got his dad, and his agent, like, that's one of the best parts about it. But honestly, that agent, he's going to have to capitalize as quickly as possible because honestly, he's not going to get much out of this. He knows full well this is nothing's going to work. That look that he was going for is working for him to the point where like everyone's starting to talk about it, and he's got to capitalize as quickly as possible because I think he recognizes as well too. Tommy DeVito is not you're not going to be there for long. He's probably going to be gone at the end of the season anyways. So he's got to see if he can muster up something to get some other players in his portfolio. But outside of that, that's pretty much it. The Giants suck. I had a little bit of hope that they may be able to make the playoffs, but knowing full well that they have to go play against the Eagles twice, I knew they were not going to make it. If they beat the Saints, gives a little bit of Giants a little bit of hope. But reality is now they're not going to get the first three picks for sure because that's going to go to Carolina, the Patriots, and who else is Panthers? Well, which is basically the Bears, and the Cardinals. Unless the Bears are somehow able to somehow wait, where'd the Bears game go? Oh, unless somehow the Bears are able to get out of this, but yeah, it's going to be between the Bears and Giants for for number 4 and 5 pick, basically. Maybe a number 6 pick as well. So Bears, honestly, they should probably tank it a little bit. The real question comes down to is now this. For the San Diego Chargers, not San Diego, LA Chargers. I got to stop calling them San Diego. I'm sorry. It's just I was so used to calling them the San Diego Chargers. I got to get used to it. Just like the California Angels and Anaheim Angels. I keep calling them the Anaheim Angels when the reality they're now the Los Angeles Angels. Even though they technically speaking out, they are in Anaheim. But in any case, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the LA Chargers. Will Jim Harbaugh? I think it comes down to Jim Harbaugh. And the thing is, let's not forget, I think Jim Harbaugh likes being in the West Coast and being the fact that he will be in SoCal. I think he would like to be there, whether it be with the LA Chargers or LA Rams. But LA Rams, I don't think is going to let McVay go. So the Chargers are his ideal team. I think any coach would love to have Herbert on their team. Any coach would love to have Herbert because honestly, the guy's talented. He's super talented. I think you just got to surround him with really good wide receivers and a good. Here's the thing. If the Chargers can sign Saquon Barkley, get a couple of better receivers, a better wide receiving core, and upgrade the offensive line a little bit, Chargers are going to go to the Super Bowl next year. They'll go to the Super Bowl next year if that can happen. And if Harbaugh becomes the coach. But I don't see that. I don't know what's going to happen there. I think it all comes down to what happens with Bill Belichick. After he's let go or forced out of the Patriots, the question is or forced into retirement from with the Patriots, will he want to coach the Bears or will he want to coach the the LA Chargers? Or 2 or 3, will he just want to stay retired? Because I think that's what it's going to come down to. I have a feeling he doesn't want to go just yet. I think he wants to prove that he can win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady. But it's showing full now more and more. It was Brady all along, not Belichick. And everyone's gonna say, well, you got Belichick, when Tom Brady was injured. And I was like, yeah, but the thing is, he had enough players around him that they were able to do whatever they need to do. I mean, this is the same guy that probably couldn't do really well if he had Drew Bledsoe on his team, which he did for a while there, and they weren't doing so well. Remember that they weren't doing so well with Drew Bledsoe. But yeah, I'll say this. Yeah, I'm gonna drink live. Drinking live. Anyways. The Chargers, if they get Jim Harbaugh, it would be amazing. I don't think Harbaugh is going to go to Chicago, even though that's his first team that he broke into with the NFL. I don't think he's going to go there. I don't think he likes Justin Fields. He's not going to go to New England. If Belichick were to leave, he's not going to go to New England. There's no way he joins New England because they've got no quarterback situation whatsoever. And Harbaugh, I don't think, is too enamored with the existing QB crops that are coming out of this draft right now. I don't think he's too enamored about them. If anything, I think he's probably going to wait a little. Like I said, I think he was really enamored with Herbert, and I think he loves Herbert. And I think if he has a shot, and San Diego, LA Chargers were to make a play to offer Harbaugh a shot at coaching the Chargers, I think Harbaugh was like, "Hell's yeah." I think any coach would, for that matter. Quite honestly, put it this way, it did. I'm not taking anything away from Dable, but I think Dable is a really, really good quarterback coach. Is he a good offensive coordinator? Yes or no? Is he a good head coach? Time will only tell. Time will only tell. But with that, I'm not sorry to say, but this whole rant was about after watching the Giants game. I figured let me come on, talk about Tommy Pison DeVito cutlets. Sorry, that's my lousy Italian accent. I now mean to be stereotypical, but the moron actually did this, so like it's on him basically. But in any case, oh wow, what the deuce? So wait, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the games right now. Sorry, looking at the scores. Who's got the ball? The Browns. If the Browns score a field goal, they get it basically. They're at the Chicago 17. All they got to do is drive, and that's it. Texans and Titans. Okay, they're in overtime. I know everyone said CJ Stroud is out, but the thing is, I thought for sure because the fact is like the Texans are still on the hunt, they would go all out, and until CJ Stroud comes back, they'll go all out to make sure they keep themselves alive at that point. The Browns, honestly, Flacco showing what he's done. Honestly, I wish the Giants had gone in and picked him up. Or two, I think the Jets are regretting it now. I think they wish they had gotten Flacco or picked him up. Because he was a free agent at that point. They could pick him up, and they probably would have been doing really well. Decent enough right now, honestly. Probably be doing decent right now. But in any case, yeah. It is what it is. Panthers beating the Falcons, though, is a real surprise. The fact that they beat them by 2 points. 2 points. It's still surprising. The Atlanta Falcons are pretty much out of the playoffs. Kind of sucks for them. They were on the uprise, but now they're on the downhill, similar to what the Packers are. They're on the going downhill as well too. Rams, they have a shot at the playoffs, but let's see how that works out for them. It'll be interesting to see how the Ravens and Jaguars game plays out tonight. I'd love to see that game. The Dolphins killing the Jets. I think it's going to be the Dolphins that are probably going to have the home field advantage and the number one seed in this case. I don't see anyone else taking over them at that point. Yeah. I mean, nothing else to say here, actually, right? I mean, I don't know what else to say here. This has been mostly me about the Jets Wilson out on concussion. Yeah, whatever. I don't think the Jets care too much about it. Steve Cohen is going all out about Yamamoto. It'd be really surprising if, Yamamoto decides to sign elsewhere, like with the Yankees or the Dodgers or even Anaheim for that matter. And also, let's keep our prayers for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, getting injured. Hopefully everything works out for him as well too. Yeah. Oh, the one thing I was a little caught off guard about was Rick Pitino. I had no idea he was with the Red Storm. I was like, when did Rick Pitino join the Red Storm actually? And St. John Red Storm, that is. I mean, that threw me off a little bit, quite honestly. St. John's Red Storm record. I mean, put it this way, if St. John's wins the Big East, if St. John's wins the Big East, I think, well, we know Rick Pitino how good he is. The question is what has he done? But if he's able to get to the Big East with the current team that he inherited, that would be really impressive, mad impressive, quite honestly. Well, but in any case, I'll leave it at that. I wish I could see anyone that leaves comments, but for those that are on Twitch that are seeing me, if you are watching me on Twitch, please follow. For those that are on YouTube, I am using Restream in this case. Please, once the channel becomes permanent, once the video becomes permanent, please leave a comment in the comment section. I do read all my comments and I do respond to them. I would love to, interact with people. As I said, like this whole purpose of the channel is to interact with people. And with that, I'll leave it at that. Again, leave the comments in the comment sections. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed on my YouTube channel. Please follow if you haven't. If you haven't on my Twitch channel. Not really much I really do at that point. I'm at one of these days Twitch stream as well as YouTube stream. Why work? Why not? One of these days. But with that, I'll leave it at that. As always, unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed.